Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners and hi to any newbies. It is so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free. So as you can tell by the title of the video, this is going to be a bit of a life update. If you are just here for the yarny crochet content, then this is not going to be that video, and I completely understand if it's not one for you, so click off and I will see you another time. Absolutely fine. No judgment. It is okay. So I don't actually know how long this video is going to be. It might be quite a short one, but I have promised a few of you that I will keep you updated with what is happening with me in my life regarding my job at the moment. And this is that video because I finally have answers to my questions. Decisions have finally been made, and I now know where I stand. And I am sat here in front of you in pretty much a blind panic underneath the surface. So, to recap, in February this year, 2024, I decided to take the plunge into a new job, a new potential career, and a new way of trying to improve all of our lives as a family. I had spent all of my years previous to this just doing, little pocket money jobs, and other jobs that just didn't turn out to be as successful as I had hoped. But predominantly low paying, low hour jobs, which barely scratch the surface of our finances. I took the plunge after seeing a job advert for a administrative role within a local prison. Took the plunge, was absolutely blown away that I was successful, and I was so super excited that this could be the start of something great for me and my family. It was a new challenge for me, something to get my teeth stuck into, something that I felt was worthwhile, even if it is controversial. Never a setting I would ever thought that I would find myself in. Just completely out of my comfort zone, but in a way that meant that I was finally doing a job that meant something, that challenged me, and could potentially make our family a little more stable and better off. Not, massively comfortable money wise, but at least stable. So I started my job, and it was really weird to begin with to try and wrap my head around the setting I was now in, the people that I worked with closely, and my responsibilities in a role that I had never fulfilled before. So there was lots of learning and training and adjustments to be made, because prison is a whole new world to what the average one of us normally walks on a daily basis. It is so challenging on many different levels, and it was a lot to deal with to begin with, but I had wrapped my head around it. I got more comfortable as time went on, and I was really hoping that I could help to do some good, because it was within the education department. And while the inmates were there, they would sign up to do courses to gain qualifications, so that hopefully on their release, they put what they have managed to get qualified into good use and get a law-abiding, decent job on the out and turn their lives around. So, very important part of rehabilitation. Now, there will be some of you watching that think that anyone who does such heinous, awful things to, land themselves in prison should not be given the right to rehabilitate. They should have everything stripped from them and never see the light of day again. And it was all fruitless, and they don't agree with it. Now, to a point, I'd completely understand, and I would have agreed with you to a point before I got this job. But actually, there are so many different levels of crime. There are so many different levels of perpetrator. There are so many different factors to consider that it is not black and white. It is not. It is such a vast grey area that it would take hours to unpick. It really would. Now, all of them were there for good reason. All of them had done naughty, bad things to land up there. And it varied from minor crime to extreme crime. And it was scary at times, in fact, bloody terrifying. It was heartwarming at times, believe it or not. Somebody who has continually struggled all of their life to gain some form of education, finally breaking the mold and achieving something, and just breaking that inner voice of they will amount to nothing, they will always be a good for nothing, and it's just all a waste of time, to suddenly gaining those qualifications and those certificates and knowing that there is a shred of hope. It is bamboozling, it is mind-boggling, it takes you through all of the emotions, it really, really does. But I ended up loving my job, and I was so proud of myself that I had managed to secure that, and I was doing some good and I was feeling good. And yeah, and then it all started going wrong. And basically, the prison that I was working in is so old. It dates back to Napoleonic times, guys. It is a really old building. And it became apparent that there was a naturally occurring gas building up within the building, the cells, the offices, all over. And scientists and the environment people and all of the experts gave a level that was deemed safe exposure, and anything above that was now considered unsafe. And to cut a very long story short, the levels kept peaking and troughing and going all about the houses, and we started to deploy prisoners who were residing in cells of levels that were too high. They were placed elsewhere, and the thoughts for quite a while there was that remedial works were going to be done and the problem was going to be solved, and eventually all the prisoners would come back and it would be business as usual. Now, we did get the green light to start recanting the prisoners back, which gave us all hope that things were taking a turn for the better. It was taking an upward turn, that we would have all the cells filled again and we would continue running at full capacity, and it was tickety-boo. And within the blink of an eye, it all changed again, and we were dealt the earth-shattering blow that actually it was closing. And they didn't know whether it was going to be a temporary closure or whether it was going to be a permanent closure. And it was very uncertain and unsettled for a many number of weeks, and it was really hard. I had spent some time with the to-in and fro-in of prisoners and not really knowing what was going on. I had spent time in another prison helping out there, and it took a toll on me. It was a longer commute. It was a completely different setup, a different type of prison. It wasn't for long-term prisoners. It was a remand prison, which meant there was a huge turnover of individuals going in and out of that building, which meant that the paperwork was of a much higher volume. It was just a completely different beast to contend with, and it cost quite a lot of money to keep doing that travel and keep going there and waiting for my expenses to be returned to me. And it was really taking a toll mentally as well, because I would get home absolutely more exhausted than normal, because it's an emotional drain working in a prison on a daily, let alone with everything else on top. And yeah, when we got told that the prison was temporarily shutting, at least while they were still deciding whether it was temporary or permanent, I again was being sent here, there, and everywhere. I went to the one, the further away prison that I had already been working at, and I also went to another one that was a similar distance that I had never been to before. And I didn't know from one week to the next what my working week was going to look like, where I was going to be based, what was going to be needed of me, etc., etc. And I'm not going to go into too many details, but in one of the other prisons that I spent some time working in, it was very clear that I wasn't welcome, wasn't wanted, and it wasn't a very enjoyable work experience for me, which took another dent to my mental health. And it's all just snowballed, guys. But again, to try and cut a very long, in-depth, complicated story a bit shorter, because it goes much beyond what I'm going to share with you. I'm not going to give you all of the nitty-gritty. I mean, if ever my employers found these videos of mine, I could be in serious trouble, for some of it. But I do have to keep some things private, and I'm going to try and keep most of the detriment to me and my mental health and my emotion to a minimum. But trust me when I say I have been really struggling is an understatement, and I can feel myself welling up and I can feel myself getting upset. So forgive me, but I am not going to do a deep dive on Manfa's mental health with you today, okay? Can't handle it. I've got way too much to sort out and get going with. So you are seeing this on Monday the 16th, I think, 16th of September. But last week on the 11th of September, we were all summoned to a big meeting at a neutral location, and HR, human resources, were going to be present. And as soon as I got that email, I instantly went, game over. That's it, game over. And a few of my colleagues were saying, no, think positive. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be the worst case scenario. Have faith, keep the hope. And I went, I am not unintelligent. I am not stupid. I know how these things roll. And I think you guys need to start wrapping your head around the fact that it's game over. They were adamant that I was wrong. I was adamant they were wrong. And turns out I wasn't wrong. It is game over. I will no longer have a job as of the end of this month, September 2024. Now, here in the UK, if a business folds, if a company goes bust, or if a job is lost, not at the fault of the person doing the job, we have something called redundancy. And in that redundancy, it depends on how long you have been in service, in post for that company, as to how much of a payoff you will get, because it wasn't your fault. It's not your fault that you can't continue to do your job, and there needs to be some compensation for that. Yeah, I've only been there 7 months. So, yeah, Manfa's not going to get any redundancy. You have to, in the contract for them, it states that you have to be with the company for 2 years plus to qualify for redundancy. So 7 months doesn't cut the mustard, guys. So a list of current vacancies was handed out to us all once we were told this, and a few of my colleagues are going to go for the current vacancies and just transfer to a new role, and their journey will continue, and I'm so pleased for them and happy for them. But at the same time, there are no vacancies or other positions that I can fulfill, so I don't have the option of a transfer either. And it was a real bitter pill to swallow. So discussions were had and questions were asked, and it was all a little bit of a horrible blur. And I asked the question of, so what happens to people like myself who haven't been with the company long enough for redundancy and there are no positions to transfer to? What's going to happen to us? And they said that we've got until the 18th to give any suggestions of potential roles that could be created that they may not have even considered, and that if it's viable, that would be considered and potentially put into place. But by the 23rd, those of us that cannot transfer or put forward any ideas of a new role, we have no job anymore. Which is me. So I said, okay, well, it states in my contract that you have to give me a month's notice, or I have to give you a month's notice if I no longer want to work, or you no longer want me to work for you. So can I be considered for pylon? And pylon is pay in lieu of notice, which basically means, because it's a month, I basically state, I'm done, I'm finished, I want pay in lieu of notice. So I'm not going to work a month. I just want a month's pay and I'll go tomorrow. And they said that yes, that is only fair, and that yes, they are prepared to do that. So I will get September's pay packet, and then I'll get October's pay packet, even though after September I'm not actually working. October's pay packet is my little tiny teeny payoff. And that's that. No more income, no more money, no more job. Still got bills, still got kids to feed and look after, and pets, and all of the, life stuff. That doesn't stop just because I've lost my job. So, yeah, Manfa isn't doing very well right now. And that's okay, because these things happen and trials and tribulations in life are commonplace, and it happens to the best of us. And I will try my darndest to make sure that I fix this as quickly as I can. But the worry and the stress is just enormous. And that's another reason why I haven't been doing my lives like I had. Well, I have had many moments or periods of time where I haven't come on and done my usual lives because of extreme stress and things going on. And with all of the uncertainty for quite a few months now, sometimes it's just a lot and I can't. And I had got my head around it, started pushing forward, and I had started doing my lives again, and then it stopped again, guys. And I'm really sorry about that, but I just am not a cheerful, happy person to be around right now, and I can't fake it, and I don't ever want to be fake. I would not have turned this camera on today and be crying right now in front of you if I wanted to be fake. I know that I would be absolutely lifted up and embraced in massive amounts of love from you all. And I know that you wouldn't have any issue with me talking things through and trying to find ways to sort things out, but I'm just not in the right place for lives right now. I don't want to bring anyone down. I don't want to be the crying Debbie Downer and the misery guts. I don't want to be that on my channel. The fact that this is probably like the third or fourth video that I've come on crying absolutely embarrasses the heck out of me and isn't what I wanted for my channel at all. But also on the flip side, I am a real person behind the camera, and it isn't all sunshine and rainbows and sparkles. It's really not. The brutal, harsh reality of adult life is sometimes the house of cards tumbles, and it's really hard. And I'm just trying to show you that I am real, I am genuine, I'm not fake, and I'm having a bit of a tough time, and I am trying so hard to find another job. I am sending out applications and I'm emailing and I'm trawling the job vacancy sites, and nobody is getting back to me. Nobody is offering me an interview. Nobody is interested. And time's running out. And I'm really starting to panic because I've still got to feed my kids and I've still got to pay my bills. And I don't know how I'm going to do that past October, and it has to be right on top of my eldest's birthday and Christmas. It's just really unfair. But that's life, yeah? Life isn't meant to be easy and fair all the time. I know I am not unrealistic, but it just sucks so bad and I don't know what to do. I am trying so hard to sort it. I'm trying so hard to fix it, and it just seems that everywhere I'm going and every turn I make, I'm getting a door slammed in my face, which is really not helping either. Rejection on top of panic and hurt. It's really not the one, as I'm sure you can imagine. So yeah, that is the update, guys. I'm not doing so hot right now, and this isn't a begging video of people send me money, people help, oh my gosh, get me out of this situation. That is not what I'm doing. And actually, to clarify, as it stands right now here today, it is not like we are starving. It is not like we're about to be chucked on the streets. It has not gotten to that point, and with every hope in my body, it will not get to that point. I am not asking for anything from you. Do not feel that you have to try and help and contribute and sort my family out. It is not your place. It is not your responsibility. That is not what I am asking. I just needed to fill you in on what's going on and just have somebody to talk to, because yeah, it's all a bit sucky. But I am going to continue to apply for as many jobs as humanly possible. I am going to look at every avenue open to me. And even if that means that I have to do a job that will physically put me in agony, mentally destroy me temporarily until I can get a job like the one that I've just lost, then I am prepared to go to the ends of the earth for my children, and it's them that I get upset for. I will do whatever it takes, because that's what us mums do, right? We keep fighting every battle and we get up and we dust ourselves off and we keep on marching. And I am going to keep on marching. I am not going to crumble. I am not going to be defeated, and I will do whatever it takes to make sure that me and my family are okay and that we don't struggle really badly. I do have awesome parents that are so super supportive and help us more than you could ever know. And you guys just watching my videos, giving me my thumbs and leaving your comments, that is all I could want, because the more views and thumbs I get, the more I get in a little check at the end of the month. And I cannot live on my little check that I earn from this, but that's because this isn't my job. This isn't my living. This isn't how I make my living. This is just my fun. And normally, sorry, not today. It's not been so fun today. I do apologise. This is my outlet. But because we are such a fabulous community, and because of all the love, support, friendship and kindness that you give to me so often, I just felt it was right to let you know what's going on. So I am not asking for anything other than just keep watching my videos, and just, if anything, if you want to give anything, just good vibes. Whatever it is you do to help someone in situations like this. I am not religious. I have never made out to be that I am. But if you do have a faith, and if you do pray, if it's not blasphemous for me to ask that of you, would you mind doing that for me? Or just positive thoughts out into the universe, positive vibes, whatever it is that you do to ask for help in some way, then you can do that for me, okay? That's what you can do. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for help. Just asking for you to keep me and my family in your thoughts, and hope that something will come along fairly soon before the money dries out, and I'll come on saying, no worries, panic over, we're fine, I've got another job, it's all tickety-boo. But until we get to that stage, sorry, I thought I'd better clean myself up a bit. I do apologise. Until we get to that stage, just hope with everything that you have that something does come along, because if I lose hope, then that's it. I can't do that. I've just got to keep trying, and I will keep trying, I promise you. And I promise that I'm not going to come on crying every video, but I am going to be avoiding my lives until I emotionally feel up to being a bit more bouncy, being a bit more positive, being a bit more Manfa. Because right now, all of my energies is going into this situation that I need to get sorted ASAP. And I hope you understand. Yeah, that's about it, guys, really. I'm not going to drag the point out anymore. I will be okay. Do not worry about me. Do not panic about me. I am absolutely fine. I will still be putting out my content. I just won't be going live for a bit until I'm just a little bit more Manfa-fied, okay? Anyway, if you made it to the end, you are an absolute rock star. Thank you for letting me offload a little bit and talk things through a little bit, because actually, to be fair, I haven't given myself much of an opportunity to think it through, talk it through, or even have any tears over, because I've just been trying to fix it. So yeah, just thank you. Thank you for always being here. Thank you to each and every one of you for making this channel exactly what it is. And that is the most amazing thing I have ever done in my life. So, well, apart from my kids, obviously, they're the most amazing things I've ever done. But there you go. So thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you in advance for all your thumbs, your views, and your comments. And like I said, just get that positive energy flowing over here to me. I would really appreciate it. And fingers crossed, fingers, toes, legs, eyes, all the things that you can cross on your body, I will secure another job soon. And only when I've secured another job will I be able to grieve for the one that I've just lost. But that will come. All right. So tomorrow, what are you going to come back for tomorrow? It's not going to be more crying, I promise. It's really not. Actually, you need to come back tomorrow, because tomorrow is Crafty Moo Sarah's birthday. Whoop whoop. So happy birthday for tomorrow, Moo. She actually sent me a little bit of happy mail, but it is a happy mail with a twist. And it's really funny. So if you need a chuckle, and if you are not, again, easily offended, then come back tomorrow and see what Moo sent me. And then what she made me do with what she sent. Now that must have piqued your interest, at least. Moo, if you're watching this, happy birthday for tomorrow, sweetheart. When I was filming, I didn't realise it was going to be scheduled on your birthday. But how fitting that it's scheduled on your birthday. Thank you again for that wonderful gift that everyone will see tomorrow. And I hope I did your request justice. So come back tomorrow for that, guys. I really look forward to it. But until then, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one, or around the YouTube streets. Bye, guys. Love you loads.